Yeah. Okay. Homework problems mostly had to find the expected output. I mean, you have a set of events and their probabilities. So you need to find what is the expected outcome of it. Okay. So let's take an example from the homework problem. It says that a probability of a customer purchasing a particular book is um, say the probability of a customer purchasing 0 books or 1 book or 2 books is defined as 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. Now you want to find out what is the probable, I mean, what is the expected number of books that customer will purchase. So now you have two values, like what is, I mean, the number of books that will be purchased, like either 0, 1 or 2, and the probabilities associated with it, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. So create two vectors for these values. So this the cus variable is giving me the uh, book value, I mean books 0 or 1 or 2, and this probability vector is telling me about the probabilities associated with it. Now if you want to find the expected number of books a customer will purchase, this will become the multiplication of cus and probability. So just to find that, you just do the multiplication of the two vectors, and we can do that this way. So this is specifically useful when you have a large data sets. I mean, because I mean, if since here it is just three variables, I mean three values, you can just multiply manually and do the sum. But if it's a large data set, we definitely don't want to do it manually. So I mean, if you do the R function, if you use R for it, it will be useful. So most of the problems in the homework 6 are mostly related on these things. So now we got the multiplication of both the vectors, but the expected outcome will be the sum of these values. Okay, so let me execute it. Yeah, so yeah, so this 1.3 is the total number of books that will be purchased, expected number of books that will be purchased by the customer. Okay. Now if you want to find the standard deviation, so for that what we do is like first find the expected value, that is this sum will give us that expected value. Subtract these values from our customer, I mean the 0, 1 or 2 books, uh, then square it. This will give us the, I mean, and just store it in a variable, um, and the sum of these values will give us the variance. And in order to find the standard deviation, we just have to do the square root of this variance. So okay, okay, so for this particular event, the square root, sorry, the standard deviation is 0.78. These instructions are also specified in the instructor help on your homework problem. But yeah, try to use R as much as possible to do the homework. That will help you in your projects and exams. Okay. There was one more important problems where it was like uh, mm, what is the probability that at least one event will be one at least okay, let me give you an example. um, Okay. One of the problems in the homework said that there are uh, I mean some company wants to find out how much effective their software is for people, uh, specifically for left-handed people. By observing some random population, they observed that 75% of the population are right-handed. That means like 0.25% is the left-handed people. They want to find out how effective is it uh, to the left-handed people. So here they totally took 12 people for their test, and if you just want to find out the at least at least 7 of them, the probability that at least 7 of them are right-handed people. So what I am doing is, so when you say at least 7, it could be either 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12. So for that I'm just doing this d binomial function. This is very useful when you because you can't calculate them manually here. So because it is specified at least 7 and our total population is 12, so 7 is to 12 comma 12 is our total population, and the probability that it is they are right-handed is 0.75. So that will give us yeah. So at least 7 people are right-handed is 0.04 probability. Yeah, I think these two are the main things that are helpful in doing the homework. Also there are problems where you have to find the so if for a given event x, you are given the mean and standard deviation, and if you want to find out the mean and standard deviation of event 5x, then how do we do that? Say okay, let me tell you. Okay. So if mean of an event x is given, the mean of event 5x will be 5 times the mean of event x. So this is the multiplication rule. At the same time, if mean of the event x is given, and if you want to find out the mean of the event 4, it will become the mean of event x plus 4. Similarly, if you wanted to do the standard deviation of 5x, it will become 25 of 25 into, I mean the square of 5 into standard deviation of x. So that will become 25 into standard deviation of x. Okay. Yeah. These are all, I mean, these things should help you in finishing the homework. Let me know if you have any particular other problems which you want me to cover.